What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Richest Steve in Atlanta, where it is about the journey, not the title. I'm your host, Stevie Steve. I say the Richest Steve in Atlanta. Come on, y'all already know how we doing it. I'm back at y'all with episode number 32, y'all. 32 weeks of consistency. Y'all already know I like to keep counting that number up. But yeah, y'all are in for a great show today. We have who's more patriotic, Democrats or Republicans? And then we're going to finish this show right on out with digging yourself out of debt. Like I said, it's going to be a great show today. We're going to keep it nice, quick, and sweet. So we might as well go ahead and get right into it. But before that, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Also, follow my other channels. I got Heartfelt Conversations where I just have a good time with some of my friends. We talk about pretty much everything that's going on in pop culture and stuff. You know, have a good time. Then also follow my travel and vlogging channel, Steve versus the World. If you just want to see what I do in my everyday life, what I get into behind the scenes of doing this content. Like I said, let's go ahead and get straight into this thing with our first topic of the day. Who's more patriotic, Democrats or Republicans? I was on YouTube and I was watching Jubilee. They was doing one woke Democrat versus 20 Republicans. So y'all know those things, they used to be pretty interesting. But yeah, the dude was going at 20 Republicans and he made a statement saying that the Democrats are more patriotic than the Republicans. And I just can't believe that. I don't believe that whatsoever. The Democrats are not more patriotic than the Republicans. And if you ask me, the Republicans are not more patriotic than the Democrats. They're both very corrupt. They both have stuff that's really wrong about them. But I will leave my opinion for the end. I would rather go ahead and just review what everyone else had to say about it. And then I'll give my review at the end. I think he goes up against like 3 or 4 people. So yeah, it should be a good video to see why does he think that the Democrats are more patriotic than the Republicans. I honestly can't believe it. Let's go ahead and get right into that.
To policy, but this is also considering the policy that he wants to enact. Thanks for the conversation, man. My next claim is Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans.
I'm sorry. I'll let you go next.
Oh, they running up here.
I would love to talk to him. Hey, welcome back down.
Okay, just for everyone's sake, I want you to tell me why you support your claim, and then I'll leave, and people can yap at you. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like this guy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I think that Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans because Republicans are currently platforming Donald Trump. And Donald Trump had attempted to launch a coup on our federal government in an attempt to overturn and rig the results of the 2020 election. And there's 4 reasons I say this. The first reason I say this is Donald Trump capitalized on the January 6 riots to pressure Senate in to postpone the votes. The second reason I say this is because Donald Trump sent fake slates of electorates to 7 different states to cast fake certificates of ascertainment into college to be certified as real by Mike Pence. The third reason I say this is because, well, he pressured Mike Pence into signing those fake certificates of ascertainment. And the fourth reason I say this is, well, this process of trying to circumvent our civil and electoral processes and literally trying to rig the outcome of the 2020 election is a direct threat and attack on our government and on our democracy. And it is ignoring the voice of every single American citizen that voted in the 2020 election. You and everybody around this room and anybody at home, if you voted in the 2020 election, Trump tried to make your vote null by installing fake certificates of ascertainment to make himself the president again. Okay. And that is the worst internal attack that we have had on our country since the Civil War.
Okay, I don't agree, but you guys can vote me out now.
I think his point that he just made, it has some volatility to it. You know, it holds some weight. But I feel personally, the Democrats did the exact same thing with this election right now. Who voted for Kamala Harris to be the representative of the Democratic Party? Not Steve. I didn't put in no vote for that. I can promise you that. I didn't. Hey, that was my biggest thing. I was like, okay, they're gonna hold an election so we can see who's gonna be the candidate for the Democratic Party. And they said, here she is, Kamala Harris. And here everybody was, shout out. I was pissed. If we talking about elections, nobody elected Kamala Harris to be the representative of the Democratic Party. And we can say, they were rushing, they was doing all this. We all saw the downfall of Joe Biden before now. They waited until 3 months for maybe not only 3 months before we were supposed to vote in November to say that we're not going with Joe anymore. Whose fault is that? I'm sure they had plenty of other options than Kamala Harris. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee at all. So if we gonna say that that's the reason, his point is invalid. I didn't see no democratic process go down for choosing Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee. Y'all just bandwagon on with everybody else saying, yeah, hoop, hurrah. Maybe if I would have got to vote for it and lost, then I could be fair. I would be fair with it and say, okay. But that's some bull. I didn't get a choice in this at all. I don't care who would have been up there. At least I would have had a choice. I didn't have a choice in this. And I said it before. There was 2 people up there I didn't want. And they was both from California because I don't like the way California is panning out. And she was one of them. That point, invalid. That point's not invalid. I understand why you feel the way that you feel. But like I said, both parties is doing exactly what you over there saying that the Republicans aren't patriotic for. They tried to take your vote. Yeah, the Democrats definitely took that vote. Some bull, y'all. I'm telling you.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Okay, so really bold, clear statement that Democrats are very patriotic. Let's talk about the actions of the Democrats being very glorious and loving our country.
Well, I would like to clarify.
Yeah,
my claim is not that Democrats are very patriotic. It is that they are more patriotic than Republicans, but I apologize for interrupting you.
Okay, no, but
that's some bull. More than, less than, I don't care. This is some bull.
I would like clarity on what are those actions, because in my understanding of Democrats being really patriotic is destroying the nuclear family, burning down flags, burning down buildings. I mean, we see just destruction in our cities. Did you see the trash and all the homelessness going out in LA? What is patriotic about supporting all of that? What is patriotic about supporting all the drugs that are coming in, all the things that we're allowing, the human sex trafficking, allowing all these things and policies going on? What is patriotic about that? What screams "I love America" of people?
You said that Democrats support, right?
Hey, I agree with her. Ain't none of that patriotic. Ain't none of it patriotic. I kind of like this video already. I get to trash on both parties. Hold on now. I like this video already.
No, I'm just asking, what are the patriotic acts that show? Because what patriotism means to me is kneeling for those who have sacrificed for our country. My father has served 30 years in the military, right? That is 30 years that he is not getting back, that he has fought for his country, laid down his life for. What is patriotic that the Democrats are doing, that are saying, hey, I'm going to lay my life down and not be egotistic and individualistic, and I'm going to serve and look out for others, look out for the next generation? What is it? So that's what I'm asking, to make that statement clear. What does that look like at the Democratic Party?
I actually think that
I kind of want to rebuttal her, because my dad too served in the military, And I can understand why people would feel that way when someone kneels, but I think that the kneeling was more about the injustice that American has shown to Black people in general than disrespecting the troops. 100%. That's what that whole kneeling process, the whole kneeling thing was about. I don't think it had anything to do with being, if you had patriotism or not, being patriotic. It had nothing to do with that. I think kneeling is patriotic because you're standing up for something. You know, you're standing up for something that you feel like is wrong in America, you know, and that's one thing that I definitely see that is wrong with the Republicans. Y'all think just because, let's be real, America first and all that, y'all be lying. Y'all, half of y'all is lying with that. Half of y'all is lying. Because you don't even put the people that's in America. Black people are part of America. You do know that, right? Black people are a part of America. So if you want to say America first, if you have Americans that are being prosecuted, what do you, how is that America first? That's why I said, y'all, it's a lie on both sides. Who's more patriotic than the other? Nobody. Ain't no side patriotic. I don't know why y'all over here acting. Everybody want to be so gung-ho on this side's more patriotic than that side. It's not true. It's not true.
That's a great question. And the answer to your question would be a fight to protect and preserve the state of our democracy. I think that you listed off a whole cohort of claims there that were typically engaged in by Democrats that have been anti-patriotic, such as burning the flag, such as burning down buildings in the riots. And I agree with you, right? I think that those are clear displays of anti-patriotic behaviors. Do I necessarily disagree with them all the time? No, I don't think that it's wrong to burn the American flag if it's in protest of actions of the American government. But my claim here is that there's nothing less patriotic than supporting Donald Trump, a man that has already tried to destroy our country internally by overthrowing the results, or sorry, attempting to overthrow the results of the 2020.
Okay, I completely understand that.
He had me going there for a second until he started talking about Donald Trump overthrowing the election, man. He was saying some stuff until that point.
Statement. I don't agree with that, but we're not talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about your statement that Democrats are patriotic. So I'm asking about the actions are what, because we can keep tying in Kamala and Donald into this, but that they are not the reason of being a conservative or a Democrat. It's the morals, it's the values and the actions that you are reflecting.
Of course, I understand you. And the morals and the values and the actions reflected.
The morals, as a Democrat, as a liberal, what are you reflecting that's benefiting your country?
Of course, great question.
Socialism policies, these individualistic policies, these I want to consume these egotistic policies. These, you should worship in closed doors and proximities. Don't open the Bible in school. Don't say the Pledge of Allegiance. All these things that we see. No, yes, just let me clarify. We'll finish real quick. So all these things that we see, we're being forced as conservatives to shut that down, to be quiet, to be banned. So how are we talking about free speech, freedom of religion, loving, and all this stuff? These are all things that you guys are proclaiming, but
yeah, so do you agree with freedom of religion?
Of course.
So then you wouldn't agree with Trump's attempted Muslim ban?
Again, we're not talking about Trump. I'm asking for policies talking about how our Democrats really.
Yeah, sure. Let's go over them. So first, I think that fighting for the freedoms of all 170 million American women by reinstituting federal protections for access to healthcare, that's going to be caring about.
So abortion.
I think that yes. I think that fighting.
Okay. Just want to make that clear. I'm sorry. I just want to make that clear because there's a lot of.
Okay. Do you mind if I finish?
To do that. No, I just wanted to make that clear so I'm on the same page. You can continue.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I obviously think being in a room surrounded by 20 conservatives, you're not going to look at access to abortion as healthcare. I think.
No, I'm sorry. Continue.
No worries.
This is a dialogue. You want a good, fruitful dialogue? Let's continue. I'm apologizing. I just.
Great. Yeah, and I understand that there's going to be an ideological separation there, but from my side of the aisle, I absolutely think that this is something that should be federally protected. I think that infringing upon women's right to bodily autonomy, bodily integrity, all because they want to preserve the life of a non-sentient, a multicellular life form that doesn't.
Did your mom thought that about you? She was about to she thought that you were just some cells.
My mom when I was where? I mean, it doesn't care what.
Okay, y'all, I do agree with him on that part. I definitely do agree with him to a stance. Like the abortion bans, I think, have gone too far. There's, of course, you know, the line that everyone understands, the big three that we have, but there's still a line that is being crossed right now that's too far. They just let a lady die in Georgia because the doctors were scared they were going to get put in jail. So they just sit there and let her die. It's too far. It's too far. Yes, Republicans, it's too far. And letting that happen, you're losing the patriotism race. You're losing it because that is too far. That's what I'm saying. Republicans, you and Democrats both go too far with a lot of this stuff. You go way too far. And to be calling yourself, I'm patriotic because we're banning abortion, but at the same time, when you do that, I understand your point. But when you go too far with it, to the fact that this lady is about to die and we're not going to let the doctors help her, too far. Too far. That's where the line needs to be drawn. But there is no line on either side.
But she thought I was that.
So you were just a bunch of cells. So that's what you're just believing in your claim.
Well, I mean, well, my particular claim was the reason why I'm pro-choice is because I don't value the life of a uni or multi-cell.
But you have life.
That doesn't
so
have the ability
to make that change. You get to make that choice by having life. And someone that doesn't have that voice to say like, oh, that's just a bunch of cells, just abort it. Where does that stand? How is that patriotic? How is that loving America?
Yeah, because it protects access to healthcare. It protects the
killing babies, killing children. Okay.
Okay. So do you think abortion's murder?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think
I'm making that statement very
okay.
clear.
Well, so do you think that some women with IUDs are murderers then? Because it is the case in some contexts. An IUD will allow for conception to occur, meaning there's a unique human life there, but then it will prevent its implantation into the uterine lining, killing it?
I don't support or believe in any of that.
Well, to be fair, that wasn't the question I asked you. I asked you if they were murderers.
Yeah, he's taking it far. See, here we go. Here we go with the y'all take it too far every single time. Take it too far. Here he go. Taking it to the far edge again. That's what I'm telling y'all. In a lot of these topics, everyone takes it too far when the truth is in the middle. The truth is very much in the middle. You fighting for this, they fighting for that. You're both fighting for too far. It's in the middle. Always it's more in the middle. Let's be real. These folks, y'all, that's what I'm saying. On both sides, y'all are ridiculous and should be ashamed in yourself with a lot of this stuff. Hey.
I have no comment on that.
Well, didn't you just say that abortion was murder because it was killing a unique human life? Yeah. IUDs can and do kill unique human life. So wouldn't this make women with IUDs murderers?
Well, I, again, have no comment on that.
Okay, well, see, now I can just reflect everything you were just asking me back to you.
Yeah,
how can you stand for the
you're not going to answer the question that I have asked you about. Again, how are these actions going to be more patriotic?
Okay. Well, I'd like to make it clear for the record that you didn't add a comment on that because you knew that
you support killing babies. Okay, good. We're going to talk about IUD. Let's move on forward. What other actions have you seen that the Democratic Party has just showed? Again, I love America.
Of course, right? So, I mean, if you want to talk about...
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for getting them out of there. Get them out of there. This is a whole bunch of bull. They're arguing over who's more patriotic when both sides is trash.
All right. So you said that Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans?
Yes. Because...
So I would like to hear. So how would you describe the epic failure with the Biden administration? And how would you see it as being patriotic in the way that we left Afghanistan?
Well, if you want to reference our Afghanistan pull.
Oh, okay, y'all. She came with some bars. I will admit that pullout was horrible. It was horrible. America got embarrassed when it came to that pullout. I will admit that right there was not it. Both sides coming at it, they chomping at each other for show. But that was not it. That in that pullout, nah, that was not it. That was a bad look for America for sure.
Pullout is not being patriotic. Well, we should blame that on Trump because he's the one that organized the pullout.
That's actually wrong. He didn't.
He did.
I know the lawyers that worked with JAG for that
Oh,
operation, and it was a
They fact checking. Oh, I like this. Yo, they fact checked here, man. Y'all, they fact check. That's what they needed to do at that debate. They fact check. Hold on. Former President Trump signed an agreement with the Taliban in February 2020 to remove all U.S. troops from the country within 14 months. In April 2021, President Biden announced he would pull all troops out of Afghanistan by September 11, 2021, taking full responsibility. Oh, bars. That was not patriotic. She got him for that. She got him on that. That is not patriotic.
It was a long strategic pullout over the course of several years. It was the Biden administration that booked when they were going to leave. It was their operation with the military complex under Austin that pulled that out. It was an epic failure. So are you agreeing that it was a failure?
Yeah, it was a failure.
Okay, well, I mean, if you seemingly know more than me
Yeah.
about the pullout from Afghanistan, as
failure.
far as I'm aware, that was organized under by Trump's administration.
Do you see giving the
Oh.
Qatari embassy to the Taliban as patriotic?
Well, I would like to just finish off here real quick. So you seemingly know more than me about our pullout from Afghanistan. I was under the
Do you
impression.
see
Yes.
what happened at Bagram Air Force Base as patriotic?
Okay, ma'am, do you mind if I finish? Is that
We'll
fine?
see. We'll see. See if I can interrupt you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, just what I had hoped to say there was you seemingly know more than me about our pullout out of Afghanistan.
It was one of the largest events that happened after Biden took office, and also one of what I would consider one of the worst and most humiliating for America.
Okay. Well, if I can't
was.
like finish my statements, I don't see how
Damn,
we're going to be able to have
shut
a
up.
productive conversation.
Do you know how many people are left, American citizens are left in Afghanistan?
I do not know how many American citizens are left in Afghanistan.
There you go.
Do you-
No, I don't.
Are you familiar with any of the planes that have gone back to try and pull some of these people out?
No, I'm not.
Do you know
No.
who's operating
no.
these planes?
So-
Do you know that the federal government isn't doing that, that it's nonprofit organizations, and that a lot of those nonprofit organizations were grounded in other countries and not allowed to enter in
Okay.
for
So,
pullout operations?
all right, let's look at the
So
pullout of-
patriotically
I
speaking,
mean, if I can't speak.
is that
then-
something that's
Hey.
patriotic to you? Is leaving someone behind
Raise the
patriotic?
flags. Raise the
Okay.
flags.
Well,
She
if
won't
you will
shut
allow me to
up.
speak without.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
You're very quick with everybody else. Come on.
If you will allow me to
Shut
speak without
up.
interruption, we'll be able to have a hopefully productive conversation.
Come on. Point.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, I'm seriously, I'm not going to be able to make a point if you keep interrupting me. Like that's just like we gotta.
No, you're stalling. You're stalling. Make your point. Was it patriotic?
Okay,
That's
dude.
a yes or no. Was that patriotic for you?
Okay.
Were you embarrassed?
Okay,
Do you have
I'm
family
not.
that's in the
I'm not going to be
military?
able to give you a yes or no answer. I'm going to have to give you a fleshed out answer. I will address your point if
A
you could.
flushed out answer.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That flashed out answer, y'all know that's very Democrats. They can't answer yes or no. Democrats can't give you no straight answer. You got to get a nice, full, flushed out answer. You're not gonna get a yes or no. I'm gonna tell you the answer to her question that he should just say, and then just let her yap on off and not say anything else until they raise the flag and get her out there. Because that's what I do. I would have said, okay, the pullout was not patriotic, and then sat there just like this. Just like this. Let it yap. Because honestly, you don't want to hear what I got to say. Just let it yap. She can say go, and I'll be looking around like, for what? Because you just want to hear yourself talk. I say, honestly, just go ahead and yap off all the facts that you want to yap off until they get tired and raise their flags. Because she will not shut up. He can't say nothing. But he do want to say his little fleshed out whole spiel. When I'm telling you, I wouldn't even have no spiel. I say, yeah, that was bad that was a bad look for America. Bad, yeah. And then stop right there. Nothing else will be said from me. Please let me talk. Nah, ain't none of that. If you want to keep interrupting, go ahead. You ain't got to hear from me no more. Until they raise these flags, I wouldn't say nothing. Not a word.
answer. You don't have a yes or no on patriotism, leaving people
Okay.
behind in Afghanistan.
So if you
the
will,
war that we spent over 20 years.
you're still not allowing me
fighting?
to talk here. Do you mind if I
I'm
finish?
waiting.
Do you-
Yes or no?
Like this, y'all.
Well, it's not a yes or no question.
It
I
is
have
a
to
yes
give
or
you a
no
fully
question. I
fleshed out
asked you
answer.
yes or no. It's very
If you will-
direct. Yes
if you will-
or no.
Okay, so what
Was
you were
it
trying to do is you're
patriotic?
trying to force me into a
Was
yes or no
it
question when I can't even respond to the
patriotic?
claims that you've
Was
made.
it No, you're dancing around the question
Okay,
because you don't want to
okay,
answer it because
okay.
it's going to make you look bad.
So if
It
the
was
Afghanistan,
not patriotic. I think any American citizen can tell that it was not patriotic. It made us look bad. It was embarrassing. We all had doubts on what was going to happen under this administration, just based on that alone. And the fact that we still have people there, that's embarrassing.
okay, all right. So if the Afghanistan pullout were to have occurred as the way that you described it, it would have been anti-patriotic. It would have been bad. 13 service members lost their lives. I don't think that they deserve to do that. I'm under the impression that Donald Trump had organized that pullout while he was president. It was
Never.
executed under the Biden-Harris administration.
Nope.
You're saying that's false. We'll leave it up to the fact checkers.
attorneys
And then I'd
operated
also,
that,
please,
and they
please,
didn't use
yo, hey, please,
Yo.
just let me finish, please.
Oh,
So sorry for cussing. You could cut that out. Please just allow me to finish here.
that's not
Um,
patriotic.
I wouldn't be.
Okay,
I wouldn't
so
be sorry.
I would still say that attempting to overthrow our federal government with the use of a coup to rig an election would be less.
What would you say to somebody? What would you?
Please get her up. Please get her up. Dang, that lady ain't say. She kept yapping at the mouth, y'all.
Hey, welcome down. How you doing?
Okay, so I feel like a lot of what this question is holding is what is in the best for the American people, right?
Yes.
And like what is the most patriotic thing.
I like that.
And I feel like a lot of what has been discussed today, because I've heard it and a lot of people have said it, is, and then what you have addressed a lot is you don't think Trump is the best candidate, right? And then on top of that, I feel like the problem is with a lot of people right now is there's a lot of issues, a lot of hot topics, a lot of things that we could go over. And I think the problem is when we're thinking about what is the best thing for the American people, a lot of the past 4 years have gone astray and gone to garbage.
Okay.
And
would you be able to demonstrate to me like how you think the Biden and Harris administration has negatively impacted your life or the lives of other American citizens?
I feel like there's a lot of agendas that you've clearly want to talk about agendas, but in terms of like how they did, well, patriotically, let's talk about what happened in Hawaii. Like Trump supported a lot, or sorry, not Trump, Biden spent more money with Ukraine than what was happening in burning people in Hawaii.
Do you know why?
And then
we've
on
sent
top of
money
that,
to Ukraine? Do
sorry,
you know why we've sent money to Ukraine?
why we sent money to Ukraine?
Because of the Budapest Memorandum. We signed a denuclearization
We
agreement with
spent
you.
billions of dollars
Yes.
to people that are not even Americans. And on top,
tell you why.
oh yeah, okay.
So that's because of the Budapest Memorandum that we signed with them in the 1990s, stating if they give up their nukes, we'll defend them from a foreign entity if they're invaded. That's what they did. Us sending Ukraine funding and weapons is nothing more than the U.S. upholding our contractual end of an agreement that we made in the 90s.
Okay. I know. Yeah.
Hey, you know they were doing their thing. They were doing their thing. Let's hear what the last dude got to say.
Well, it looks like you are going to be finishing the episode off. We have 30
Yeah, well,
seconds on the clock.
I got 30
I'm not gonna be able to
seconds.
respond to anything that you say, so take it away.
Yeah, one thing that you said about patriotism, I mean, I go to Trump rallies and I see people holding up American flags versus if you go to a Democrat convention, you see nobody holding up an American flag. Maybe like one person or two people there will hold up an American flag. So patriotism to me is being proud of being American, being proud to being from this country. Like I'm proud from being in this country. My family can't escape communism from Cuba. And they
Define
came here for a
communism with
better-
your last 3
they
seconds?
came here for a better opportunity in loving America. And that's what patriotism is about.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. On both sides, trash, y'all. Trash. That's what I'm saying. They was chomping each other out. Now let me tell y'all, for sure. The only thing that the Republicans have an up on when it comes to being more patriotic is lowering taxes pretty much for everybody. I see everybody get something when the taxes are lowered. Only thing when it comes to society or social issues, both sides suck. The Republicans don't care about people half the time. It's a lot of people that suffer. And the Republicans act like they just don't care. Then on the total opposite end, the Democrats, they don't care neither. Let's be real. They're just going to put you on government support so that you can continue to vote for them and vote for them and vote for them and vote for them and create a whole class, especially when it comes down to black people. Let's be real. The Democratic Party has ruined black families. Ruined black families. In all, across the board, the American government has ruined black families through crime bills on both sides, through wars on drugs on both sides. Are you kidding me? And then if you go to everybody want the history of this party, the history of that party, both history of each party sucks. I feel like the Democratic history is definitely questionable. And then we say they switched. But when they switched over and all the black people became dependent on the government for everything, I think that's even worse than what was going on. Like, let's be real. You went with the Democrats so that you could have the power to vote, which honestly, it was bilateral. You know, both parties voted for that. But you went with the Democrats so that you could get all the welfares and social this and social that, kicked men out the home. Come on, y'all. Y'all can't tell me that is anything patriotic about anything that the American government got going on now. And y'all arguing over whether Democrats or Republicans are more patriotic. I tell them both of y'all can go somewhere. Because you may have this, you may have that, but y'all can't even find nowhere to be in the middle where most Americans are. That's how I feel on that, man. That's exactly how I feel on that. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about it. Who's more patriotic? Who's more patriotic? Because I'm very much... I can't say which side is more patriotic, except when it comes to this money thing. When it comes to money, I will tell you that the Republicans are definitely more patriotic. No taxes all the way. You feel me? No taxes all the way. I don't want government support. You know, a little bit is good, but the to the extent that they got it, X no. To the extent, no, not it. But when it comes to social justice, the same on both sides. Hey, yeah, so make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment, man. As we go on to our next topic of the day, how to dig your way out of debt. If y'all don't know, I dug my way out of some student loan debt. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So I could definitely give y'all some tips, which I will do after we review this next video. Let's go ahead and get the video. Let's go ahead and get the video out the way so that I can give you my spiel. Let's get it.
Welcome back this morning on Today's Consumer. How you can dig yourself out of financial quicksand. So here's what happens. Yesterday, Vicki mentioned this phrase when she joined us, and she talked about credit card interest rates sitting at 23%. Take a listen to what she said.
Think about it. That means if you spend $100 and you don't pay it off right away, you owe $123. That's financial quicksand.
Boy, I want y'all to, I might have to rewind that for y'all to hear. Because I know she was talking fast. She was talking fast. Boy, she just broke it down crazy on how you can easily know what you about to pay. Use $100. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Y'all need to rehear that. Y'all need to rehear that. Y'all need to rehear that. Y'all need to rehear that.
Think about it. That means if you spend $100 and you don't pay it off right away, you owe $123. That's fine.
Did y'all hear that? I know y'all heard that. That's how interest works. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not gonna act like anybody here is not up to pace when it comes to learning. I do apologize for that, but that's how interest work, y'all. If you got $100 and you got a 23% interest rate, you gonna be paying $23 extra for what you paid for. If this watch is $100 and you put it on a credit card that has an APR of 23%, and you let that statement roll over, you now paid $123 for that watch. That's the dangers of a credit card, y'all. That's the danger. That's what they don't tell y'all, because you don't know to even understand. You just get it without fully understanding the responsibility that comes with that.
Financial quicksand.
I think how you said it.
Quicksand. So the phrase there resonated with a lot of our viewers who reached out to Vicky directly with their quicksand story. So Vic, thanks for coming back. I want to start with this email that you actually got from a viewer. We're going to call him Scott. Scott said that he and his wife are 60. They're homeowners. They've got about $35,000 in debt. Credit score is about 620. They want to pay off the debt, but because of their credit score, 2 local banks won't give them personal loans, and the home equity loan won't offer enough cash. What should he do?
This is.
Let me help y'all out what he should do. My wife and I are 60 years old, homeowners, and about $35K in credit card debt. At the grown age y'all are at, $35,000 in credit card debt. Your credit score is 620. You want to pay off your cards, but the local banks won't give you a personal loan, and your home equity loan won't offer enough cash. I just want y'all to know how backwards this is. How I understand the strategy that this person wants to use. What's happening here is they have $35,000 in credit card debt. Credit cards want some of the highest interest in the game. So what they want to do is get a personal loan for $35,000 so that they pay off the credit card. They pay the credit cards off, and now they have a lower interest on that whole $35K. I understand the strategy. I know what they're trying to do, but you're still looking at it wrong. So what you gonna do once you roll that over and you have a lower interest rate? Not pay off the debt still? Come on. Y'all tell me. What are you gonna do? Not pay off the debt still? You looking at it all wrong, because I know that's exactly what you're thinking. Okay, we just need to stop paying so high on our debt. We need to stop paying so much high interest on it. So we're gonna go get a loan that's got a lower rates so that we can pay for that. But we don't got a high enough credit score. When in reality, you just need to pay the debt off. That's what you need to do. Pay the debt off. Now you worried about implementing this plan and that plan so you can get out of debt. Pay the debt off. You need to have something. You more worried about getting the money to do that and do this. You need to get that money so that you can pay the debt off. You need to start some avalanche and snowball methods going here. And you might, at 60, living on rice and beans, hey, that's a little tough. I ain't gonna lie. I feel sorry for these people. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel sorry for these people. And this is, if you don't get it together right now, this is what you lead into. You try to implement a plan so that you don't have to pay as much interest rate, but you ain't got the credit score to implement the plan. Ain't that a doozy? The real thing they need to be focused on is getting rid of the debt, y'all. Getting rid of the debt, not transferring the debt into another account.
do?
Yeah, this is a great question. First, thank you to Scott for being so candid and writing in. And here's the thing, he's not alone, right? There's $1 trillion in credit card debt in Americans right now. And here's what he said. We can't borrow the money to pay off our credit card debt because our credit scores are too low. We can't borrow the money to pay off our credit card debt because our credit scores are so low. We can't borrow. It's this vicious.
That makes no sense. We can't borrow money to pay off the money that we already borrowed. Do y'all not understand how crazy this stuff is? Am I talking like y'all don't understand how ridiculous? She just broke it down even more to how ridiculous this sounds. Our credit score is low, so we can't borrow money to pay off the money that we already borrowed. I just want y'all to think through some of the financial decisions that are being made by 60-year-olds so that you will not be in the same position when you get 60. I'm telling y'all right now, if I get 60 and another 60-year-old come to me talking about some, hey man, I'm gonna look at them and be very upset, especially if it's somebody around me who knows what I talk about, and I have no problem talking about it. You know, we can have a good time. We can talk real stuff. We can talk a whole bunch of bull jive. All of it's a good time to Steve. So it doesn't matter. But if you were at 60, come on. You could be 50 right now, and you're not too far behind 60. You can get it together. That way at 60, you ain't worried about this. You could be 59 and start getting your stuff together. That way at 60, you are not in this predicament. Come on, y'all. Come on. I don't even want to hear her say that again. Cause I know she feel like, yeah, you doing the right thing. That's how I feel like she going by. Like how it's so sad that it's people, they can't borrow money to pay off the money that they already borrowed. That's how she sounded, y'all. That's how she sounded. It's so sad that their credit score is just low, so they can't borrow money to pay for the money they already borrowed. Y'all, come on now.
Just crazy cycle, right? So we went to the experts at the National Foundation for Credit Counseling. They said, good job, Scott. You went to 2 banks, go to more. There are lenders out there. Expand your search. They will work with people who have average.
Good job, Scott. Go to more banks. I'm questioning. We need to tell Scott his problem is he cannot manage money. That's the real problem here. I don't care about the strategy you're trying to implement to borrow more money to pay for the money that you done already borrowed. You have a financial literacy problem, Bob. That's the truth. The truth is this. And you need to, your plan is not your plan. I understand why you think that your plan is going to truly help you in the long run. It will. However, I don't think Bob is thinking of this in the way that he should be thinking about this. I don't even think she is. They talking about some good job, Bob. Good job. Ain't no good job, Bob, over here. I'm strictly telling Bob, you thinking of this wrong. Go ask more banks. Cause somebody will give it to you. Yeah, somebody gonna give it to you. You'll get knocked across your head again with this interest rate. Bob. Bob, Bob, Bob. Bob, Bob, Bob. Y'all, I just want to see what they say. I don't want to jump the gun on what they got to say, but I feel like I gotta read this. Expand. I'm gonna just read the first one. Expand your search for lenders. Bob about to get knocked across the head, and Bob gonna be in the same situation that Bob has been in. That is not the first step. That is not the first step, y'all. I paid off debt, y'all. I paid off debt. I have a little feet in the game. I have a little something to give y'all of how I did this. I've done it. And I definitely would not have. I would have said, yeah, expand your search for lenders on like step 6. That wouldn't have been the first thing I would have told Bob. On step 6, then we can start trying to do these finesse plays. But you try to finesse too long, you faking the funk. It ain't gonna work.
Average or low credit. They said also try to transfer your credit card balance to another company, because here's the thing, even if you can't get that 0% introductory rate, you might get a lower rate than what you're trying to pay now. Then find a strategy, stick to it. You got 12 months, you got 18 months, chip away at that $35,000. And even afterwards, if there's some money left over, pay.
Y'all, that just stressed me out. The first two options, I know the play. But you using the play to get out of debt when you really could, you're wasting the play, because you could be using the play to gain money. But I mean, the play, I understand what you want to do. You don't want to pay interest on it. But Bob, if you transfer that debt over to that card and you don't use that 12 months effectively, which I know Bob is not going to use it effectively, because Bob isn't even talking about the first step, which would help him use this plan effectively. You just rolling yourself into, I saved 12 months. But honestly, that APR probably going to be a little higher. I think that APR still going to knock them across the head when they come back. I still think it is. I don't think Bob is in the right spot. Oh, gosh. I just think that financial advice, it got to start at the beginning. Like, we got to give Bob the information from the beginning, not on his middle of the barrel. I got a plan, babe. I'm telling you, I got a plan to get us out of this. We gonna pay less. We gonna pay less on it. By transferring out, we gonna run this play. When it's steps out there that you can set, bow, bow, bow. Them Dave Ramsey baby steps, bow, bow, bow. They work. Before all the tricks and tips and all this stuff, the baby steps are proven to work. You just want to avoid it. You're trying to take a quick route that's going to get you stuck in some quicksand. That's all I'm saying.
Pay above the minimum payment and never miss your payment. The NFCC says missing payments accounts for 35% of your credit score.
Wow.
So if you're paying on time, that's going to help boost your credit score. And that is very important. And finally, there are free nonprofit resources out there. They'll sit down with you, look at your budget line by line, and help you craft a specific plan to pay down your credit card debt. Use those nonprofits.
One thing that you suggested.
She know what she talking about, y'all. I'm not going to act like she just don't know what she talking about, because she definitely know what she talking about. She talking fast and it's going over a lot of people's head, though. So you don't catch all the good nuggets that she adds in there. Like, I would have told Jim, the first thing you need to do is go to that nonprofit so they can sit down with you and create a budget so that you can see where you got money leaking in and out, so that they can say, okay, you can stop spending on this, so that you can start tackling your debt in the first place before all the plays. That's why I say I know she knows what she's talking about. It's just the order that they put it in and the way that she's delivering it real quick, real fast, it's going over your head. It's going right over your head. The first step is the last thing that she said right there. That's your first step. That it shouldn't be after you try to create this elaborate plan of doing all this. No, start at the nonprofit where they can tell you how to make a budget so you can see where everything's going in and out. Shameless plug. Y'all know I don't even get paid for this. The Every Dollar app, I like it. It allows me to automate some things. I set a system in there And it automatically works. It automatically takes stuff. You know, it automatically takes my budget. That's what I like. That's what I like to do, automating things.
It was negotiating with lenders. And I think people are intimidated by that. They're thinking like, what do I do? How do I call? What if I don't have the confidence?
Right.
What's the way to do it?
Like, am I really going to call MasterCard and be like, lower my interest rate?
Right.
Yes, you absolutely are.
So
You're going to be really.
The plans, y'all, the plans. I rock with the plans, y'all. I do rock with the plans. Cause she is telling you some good finessey. They're getting too finessey with y'all American people who ain't got the finesse because y'all don't know the basics. If you don't know the basic, y'all, the plays that you try to run, you won't be able to accomplish it. Like, it's not gonna work. You're gonna end up in the same situation. The real thing that you need to do is pay that debt off. I'm almost tired of hearing
really nice about it.
What's the template? How would you say?
You find that 800 number. You call in the morning, because usually the experienced veteran customer service agents are working in the morning, not at night. That's when people are training. If you get the sense the person you're talking to doesn't have the authority you need, kindly ask them for a supervisor, someone that can escalate this request.
So what do you say? You say, hey,
hi, listen, I've got this much credit card debt. I'm paying, and listen, maybe 20% to 18%.
Okay.
They're not going to go down to 2 or 0%.
Right. They'll give you something.
Yes, absolutely. Just ask and you shall receive. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. Get different people on the phone at different times of the day. But because people understand you're trying to pay down their debt. Right? You're being proactive.
And she asked you how that could affect Social Security payments. So for older Americans who might be watching or listening, could these lower rates help them avoid the quicksand?
Yes. So she actually reached out to me on Instagram. It's a great question. So we asked, the federal interest rate and your payments are determined each year by the COLA, the cost. Why we should have the conversation about high yield savings accounts for get a steady rate of return. You're giving a fixed amount of money to the bank for a fixed period of time. It could be 3 savings accounts.
You're gonna have to come back and do this again.
Yeah, y'all. I'm getting out of there. We're getting out of there. I'm about to tell y'all. I'm gonna help y'all out. How to dig your way out of debt. It's called the baby steps. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm taking Dave Ramsey's juice, bro. Follow the Dave Ramsey's juice, y'all. Follow it. Honestly, they say like 2,000. I guess if you got a family or it's multiple of y'all, 2,000 maybe. Y'all, I was rocking with like 1,000 in my bank account for emergencies. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I was rocking with 1,000 for emergencies in my bank account. Once you have that, you don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. If something comes up, you're not going to be stressed about it because you will have the money in the back end. You will have the money in a savings account. That's period. Okay. Next, start paying off your debt, like attacking it. Attack it. All right. Attack it. Look at your budget that we already discussed. You should add your budget first. You got to create that budget so that you can see your money coming in and out. Then once you have your money coming in and out, then you can know where to allocate your money to 1,000 to 2,000 in your emergency fund. Now you start allocating all that money into paying off your debt. Once you start paying off your debt, that's when you start implementing plans and ways to pay off that debt. But you got to have the money already working to pay that debt off. If you don't got the money to already working to pay that debt off, you trying to implement a plan this way, that way, it's useless. It's useless. Yes, find out what the snowball method is. Picking the smallest amount of debt that you have and paying that off first. Then you let that roll up, that rolls up, that rolls up. All of that will roll up. Or you use the avalanche method. Pick the highest interest rate you have and start paying that off. That's less effective for the participation award era Americans, because your highest might be a very high amount. So you'll feel like you didn't achieve anything. With the snowball method, you feel like you achieve a lot because look, I knocked off my $100 debt but the interest rate was only 2%. So you still, you paid a lot on your $20,000 debt that's at 25%. Whichever one works for you, they both methods that are proven to work. Okay, it doesn't matter. And you start using all your little finesse plays. All right, this interest knocking me across the head. I'm already paying it and working towards paying it. Now I know that in 12 months I'll be able to accomplish this. Let me stop getting hit with interest for that. That's when that play comes in and it works. But if you don't have that, your footing in the ground, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Hey, I'm done. I'm done. So how to dig your way out of debt? Step 1, budget. Step 2, emergency funds. Step 3, with all that stuff, start working that snowball or avalanche method. Start running your plays. It's easy. That's literally how easy it is. And once you set stuff up, when you have systems, and not just the goals, this stuff works like on autopilot for me. I'm telling y'all, I have debt payment on autopilot. That's what it is. I have a budget on autopilot. At the young, tender age of 26. Yep. So at 60, I won't have that problem. I promise y'all, at 60, I won't have that problem. No way. No way. Hey man, if you with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment on your way out the door. I had a great time today, y'all, chopping it up, talking about who's more patriotic, the Democrats or the Republicans. Please. Please. And then we got ended off talking about debt. That, like I said, I've paid off debt. I paid off my student loans. So I know a little bit about it. I've lived it. Take the advice if you want to. If not, hey, I feel kind of I don't feel bad. I did it. I paid it off. I'm trying to help y'all out. On your way out the door, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Peace, love, and riches. I'm out.